Just like everyone thought, Victor Wembanyama was named MVP of opening week. Wemby's been leading San Antonio to a 4-0 start so far. More than the stats, people are just excited to see what crazy move he'll do next. Still, some say they only won because their opponents weren't that tough. But today they faced Miami, who's been off to a great start. So this might have been San Antonio's first real test of the season. It was also cool to see Wemby go against Kel'el Ware, aka Fake Wemby. The Spurs came in riding a hot 4-game win streak. Vassell and Champagnie started things off with some quick buckets. Then Wemby added one of his wild tip-ins like only he can. He's got to be the top guy at making defenders feel helpless. But Miami's offense has been no joke lately either. Wiggins even went straight at Wemby under the basket. Miami clearly wasn't scared of a shootout. Wemby did block one of Wiggins' shots though, but Castle had already been called for a foul. It was close to goaltending, but no call. The Heat even had Adebayo hitting jumpers to take the lead. Even without Harrow and Powell, Miami's offense looked solid. Even Davion Mitchell, usually a defender, chipped in some big points. Maybe Coach Spo really is their best player.
Spurs. Crossing over inside, and that's a blocking foul.
San Antonio had a bit of a rough start to the game, but Castles and one gave them a real boost. Miami used up their challenge during that play too, which mattered later. Then Miami, who had been rolling, started turning the ball over. The Spurs pounced on every single mistake. Adebayo tried to stop the bleeding and get his team back on track. Miami worked hard to hold on to the lead after the first quarter. Then Wemby made a slick pass to Harper, who hit a three. As usual, just having Wemby out there was enough to stress the other team. The back and forth continued into the second quarter. Harper came off the bench and gave the home team a nice scoring spark. Miami responded by shooting an insane 60% from three. Simone Fontecchio already had 3 triples under his belt. With Wemby on the bench, the Spurs' perimeter defense really fell apart. It was clear San Antonio was losing the three-point battle in the first half. Fontecchio's deep shots just kept falling over and over, so San Antonio brought Wemby back in to stop the bleeding. He came in and instantly scored a messy but unstoppable bucket, but right after he got blocked by Fake Wemby. Wiggins helped break up the Spurs' over-reliance on threes at that point.
Ware finds Larson. Cross court for Wiggins. On the attack of Wembanyama. Well done, Andrew Wiggins. A 10-point.
He even scored right in Wemby's face in the paint. Definitely a pride-hurt moment or two for Wemby, but he bounced back with some Hakeem-style pivots to draw free throws. Wemby kept his cool and stayed locked in.
Pouring his team to push. Vassell drives the alley-oop. Top Victor with the one hand. Cocked it back.
He then finished a super high lob from Vassell like it was nothing. Let's be real, almost anyone else would have missed that. Adebayo answered right back with a monster driving dunk. But the Spurs, now fully locked in, finished the half strong. San Antonio, despite struggling early, managed to take the lead. They held up pretty well against Miami's three-point barrage. Even though the Spurs' own threes weren't falling much, Wemby, who'd been burned by Wiggins earlier, hit a tough fadeaway jumper and also dished a sweet assist to Castle for a bucket inside. Castle, who was super active on defense, picked up his 4th steal, so San Antonio took control early in the third quarter. Meanwhile, Miami's turnover issues came back to bite them again, and their red-hot shooting slowly started to cool off. With help from all over the roster, the Spurs started pulling away. It was starting to feel like San Antonio's classic third-quarter surge, but Wemby's jumper wasn't really on point tonight. Wiggins stepped up again and brought Miami back in it. Wiggins kept producing, even with Wemby guarding him. Then he straight up hit a 3 right in Wemby's face. Cold, and yeah, Wiggins was a #1 pick too, don't forget. Wemby tried to answer back, but ended up turning it over. As he sat down again, trying to shake it off, Wiggins stayed hot and kept carrying Miami in the second half, but Adebayo, who needed to step up too, was having a rough night. He went 0 for 5 in the third quarter. Yikes! While Wemby was out, Stephon Castle started heating up for the Spurs. San Antonio managed to hang on to their lead the whole time. Castle, who had been up and down lately, really took control.
Harper up. Wembanyama banks it in with the lefty.
And that's with Khalil Ware kind of still taking.
Wemby came back in and hit this weird but awesome alley-oop layup. Not many dudes in the league can pull that off. Meanwhile, what made it worse for Miami was that Jaime Jaquez Jr., one of their key guys, looked super quiet.
Jr. driving on Champagny, spinning inside, and Wembanyama just grabs it.
I love that.
He tried to make something happen, but just got blocked by Wemby. Wemby basically checked every box you'd want from a star. Once his three-point shot started falling, the Spurs went up double digits. You could finally see the talent gap between the two teams. Also, that Harper pass. Sheesh. San Antonio stuck to the plan and suddenly had a 15-point lead. But Miami wasn't about to go out like that. They fought back hard. The Spurs started making mistake after mistake, trying to close it out. What looked like an easy win quickly turned into a mess for San Antonio. Wemby blocked Jaquez again to keep the lead. Barely. But overall, the Heat owned the momentum in the fourth. Just like that, the lead shrunk to 7. San Antonio's biggest weakness, holding a lead, was showing again. Even after calling a timeout, the Spurs couldn't stop the bleeding. They just couldn't buy a bucket. It got ugly real fast. Jaquez finally got past Wemby for a nice layup.
By 1, looking to reclaim the lead after falling behind by 15. Oh, that's close, and Bam knocked it in. Bam knocks it in. The Heat.
Then Adebayo tipped one in, and boom, Miami took the lead. No one saw this coming at the end of the third quarter. Miami went on a 17-1 run. Yup, stunned. San Antonio rushed to bring Wemby back in. That's how much they were struggling against Miami's run. They badly needed a bucket to stop the bleeding. Then, bam! Vassell hit a clutch 3 at the perfect moment. Right after, he hustled hard and made another big play on defense. On the flip side, Miami's momentum stalled thanks to Adebayo's inconsistency.
Push, Castle to gather. Champagny moves it. Wembanyama! A trois-pois! Oui.
Then Wemby hit a huge 3 to give the Spurs some breathing room. He'd been cold from deep all night, but nailed the one that counted. Miami tried to bounce right back after briefly taking the lead. But veteran Harrison Barnes splashed a corner 3 to cool them off. That's exactly the kind of clutch play you want from a vet. Now both teams were officially in clutch time. It wasn't over yet, plenty of time for either side, but Miami made back-to-back turnovers at the worst possible time. They didn't even get shots off, just gave the ball away. Then Castle came up huge again with a cold-blooded 3.
Nice, powerful jumper.
Mitchell and Wembanyama, the Grim Reaper. Wemby on the other end, banks it in. It's going crazy.
And Wemby followed it up with a monster block and a fast break layup. That sequence showed just how insane Wemby is on both ends. Miami just started falling apart right when it mattered most.
Adebayo driving inside. And again, Wemby another block. That's 5 for Victor. Miami keeps it.
Adebayo made a wild drive and got swatted by Wemby again. The Spurs totally leaned on Wemby's clutch factor in the end. He drew a key foul late and helped seal the win. And with that, San Antonio made it 5-0 to start the season. That's a franchise best start, even better than in their glory days. Not even the Duncan Robinson days started like this. Wemby finished with 27 points, 18 boards, and 5 blocks. Sure, his jumper was shaky at times, but his defense more than made up for it. Once again, the Wemby show was in full superstar mode.